Thank you for joining me for another episode of Sam's Tech Stuff. Today, we're going to be taking a look at my laptop and how I'm cooling it during this heat wave. I have an older Asus GL502VM gaming laptop. This is basically one of the discount ROG models from the Intel 7th gen era of CPUs. It's running an i7-7700HQ paired with a GTX 1060 3GB with the amount of shaders from the 6GB. This wasn't a super common combination, but they did produce these for a little while. As the temperatures have been on the rise, and I do not have a central air conditioning system, I've had to take some measures to keep my laptop cool because I started to experience crashes while gaming and exporting videos for YouTube, which is definitely not good. During a regular gaming session of Cyberpunk 2077, I actually had to limit the CPU frequency to about 2500 MHz on all 4 cores, down from the stock, which is typically 3 to 3.2 GHz. Despite needing to lower the core frequency so much, the temperatures were still at 90°C during gaming, but at least the laptop wasn't crashing anymore. For video exporting from HitFilm, I was able to keep the CPU at about 2800 MHz, and I was still able to export videos, but I was seeing temperatures around the 90s. While this was technically working for gaming and video editing, I was really leaving a lot of CPU performance on the table and letting the laptop really heat up all of the other components, which overall is going to reduce their lifespan. I looked at a bunch of laptop coolers on Amazon, but I didn't really find anything that actually matched the shape and location of the vents on my laptop, so I decided to basically craft my own solution. We're going to take a quick look at a Cyberpunk gaming session and an actual video export and the temperatures that I saw without the fan and with the fan. Before we get into that, if you're interested in tech stuff like this cooling experiment or PC and server build videos, get subscribed to the channel and ring that notification bell. You'll get notifications each time I upload a review or a PC or tech video like this. I'll be linking out to all of the parts used in this video and some other builds in the description below, so definitely make sure to check that out for more details. Because of all the electronic components shortages this year and last year, I haven't been able to upgrade the graphics card in my desktop, and I haven't been able to buy the CPU that I want. So I've been using this gaming laptop basically as a desktop replacement. I typically always had it folded in the past and just sitting on my desk. Since the temperatures have been going up and the system was overheating so badly, I decided to actually flip the laptop upside down so it could suck in some fresh air from the bottom of the case because there was nothing blocking the air anymore. This did not end up reducing the temperatures enough, though it did lower them a little bit. What I ended up doing was buying a Noctua 120mm fan. I went with the NF-A12x25 PWM model. I also picked up a 120mm fan filter. Since the 120mm fan is way larger than the vent on my laptop's bottom cover, I took this old cardboard box and cut a hole in one side to match the length and the width of the vent. Then I cut another hole in the opposite side, just under 120 by 120, roughly 110 by 110. This way I can actually rest the 120mm fan on this box. It'll push all of the air into the box, then through that slot into the vent. Before this cooling mod, I was forcing my CPU to underclock itself by hundreds of megahertz, and in the case of Cyberpunk, almost 1 full gigahertz, which was really hurting CPU performance, which translated into lower 0.1% lows and higher frame times. Not a super great gaming experience. With this new cooling solution, I can actually clock up the CPU to 3 GHz, which is a 500 MHz increase while running Cyberpunk. In terms of video exporting, I can also export videos at 3 GHz now without any issues. In terms of the temperatures, during Cyberpunk gaming sessions, they stay between about 80°C and 90°C, which is good enough for 1 to 2 hour gaming sessions. I'm not too worried about that type of temperature. Before, it was constantly over 90°C and sometimes hitting TJ Maxx which resulted in the laptop shutting off. Performance has gone up, and I've noticed about a 10% FPS boost. In terms of my video exports for YouTube, I can now edit and export videos at 3 GHz, well under 90C. Both of these clock rates and temperatures basically were just not possible before this cooling mod. So for about $28, I was able to get quite a bit of extra performance relatively quickly out of my gaming laptop. This mod can definitely be done for less than 28 bucks. If you have an old fan and a fan filter at home, basically it's free. If you have no spare parts at home, this mod can definitely be done for less than 28 bucks if you switch out the fan model. You could potentially get a similar mod for less than 10 bucks if you hop over to Amazon or Newegg and find a fan under $10. I have a lot of Noctua fans because they are my preferred cooling solution, so that's why I opted for the NF-A12 in this one. This solution probably isn't going to be right for everybody, especially for people who are on the go, but this solution does not permanently modify the laptop and it's easily removable. In terms of other drawbacks, there definitely is increased noise, but it's less irritating than the internal fans kicking all the way up to max speed, somewhere between 4,000 to 5,000 RPM. Without this extra cooling solution, the internal fans would be kicking up to their max RPM, and I still wouldn't be hitting clock speeds this high, resulting in lower performance. As I mentioned, since I can flip my laptop upside down on my desk, this was really convenient. In terms of what I'm using to power the fan, I opted for a Cooler Guys AC to DC power adapter. This adapter will spit out a 4-pin PWM connection, though you won't actually be able to control the voltages going to the fan to change the speed. This will run the fan at full speed all the time. Let me know in the comments section below what you guys are doing to beat the heat with your gaming laptops or even your desktops right now. It's pretty warm out all over the US and really the entire world. Gamers all over the globe know that this time of year can definitely be a challenge to maintain those overclocks and even keep your boost clocks. If you guys have any ideas or improvements that you want me to test out on my laptop, post them up below for everybody to see, and maybe I'll pick a few and try them out. If you like watching this video, definitely hit that subscribe button and then click the bell icon for future video notifications. I upload PC and server build videos as well as tech stuff like this every week. Until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at Sam's Tech Stuff, on Facebook at facebook.com/Sam's Tech Stuff, or on the website samstechstuff.com.